Hey everyone, this is Bill Krieger from the Veterans Archives podcast, where we preserve and share the incredible stories of our nation's heroes. Catch us every Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern on Wreaths Across America Radio, or stream anytime on Buzzsprout, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Really, anywhere you choose to get your podcast, you should be able to find us. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on social media to help us reach more veterans and supporters. We are a nonprofit, and this service is completely free for veterans. Every story matters, and every voice deserves to be heard. Spread the word, honor our heroes, and join us on this mission. Follow, share, and tune in, because their story should never be forgotten. Learn more at veteransarchives.org. We'll see you there. Today is Wednesday, March 5th, 2025. We're speaking with Art Hill, who served in the United States Army and the Michigan Air National Guard. Good morning, Art.
Good morning.
It's good to see you this morning. So we're gonna start out with some easy questions. When and where were you born?
When? 1926 in Ionia.
It's Ionia, Michigan?
Yeah.
All right. Did you live there for a long time?
Yeah, a couple weeks.
Okay. So where did you grow up, Art?
Vicksburg,
Okay. And where's Vicksburg at?
south of Kalamazoo. Oh, how many miles? 14 miles.
Okay. All right. What was it like for you growing up? What are some of the memories you have of being a kid?
Well, trap muskrats just as they could walk, I believe. And I used to sell them there. Well, one of the kids that I went to school with, his dad bought them.
Uh-huh.
And he sat in the living room smoking and never seen him without.
Really? What did they do with them when you sold them? What did they do with the muskrats that you sold?
Well, they sold some of them to a restaurant. People eat them. And,
Really?
yeah.
They taste any? Have you ever eaten one?
Yeah, I've had a bite of one. He's kind of a rat.
So, did you have any brothers and sisters growing up?
Oh, yeah. 6 brothers and 3 sisters.
It's a lot of kids in one house.
Yep.
And what about your parents? What did your dad do?
Well, they live in Ionia, and he started up a insurance agency in Vicksburg. And it didn't work because the Depression come right then, and he just moved and opened up a thing, but he couldn't sell no insurance, so he went to work for Kalamazoo County Road Commission. And he worked there till he retired. And then I took a job as a cemetery sexton over in Vicksburg. So we worked in that cemetery for a long time. I don't know how old he was when he died, but old.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother was too.
Yep. What do you remember about your mother?
Well, remember cooking Sunday dinner. It started out in the backyard with a chicken, wrote our heads off, and that's what we had for Sunday dinner always, is chicken.
Doesn't get any fresher than that.
No, but I can remember her. She'd hold them, spin them.
Yep, that'll do it.
Yep.
So where were you at in the kind of in the line of your brothers and sisters? Were you the oldest or the youngest, or were you in the middle somewhere?
Oh, had 2 younger brothers.
Uh-huh.
2 younger, and then it was up.
All right. You worked at the cemetery?
Well, while I was still in school,
Okay.
yeah, and every once in a while, I'd dig a grave with a shovel. That's what they did back then.
Mm-hmm.
And I propped that one. I was done. I was tired. Propped her up in the corner of the grave. Went to sleep. Couple women come by and looked down in there, screamed and woke me up.
They thought somebody forgot to put the dirt on top?
Yeah. Yeah, I hadn't got out yet. I sat down and rest.
Oh no.
Now they dig them with a machine.
Right. No sleeping in those holes, right?
No,
Yeah.
I done them by hand.
So did you go to school in Vicksburg?
Yeah.
All right. And what was school like for you? What'd you do in school?
Oh, I played basketball, played football, and I didn't play baseball because we had to walk a long ways to get in the baseball field.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't do that.
Were you pretty good at football?
Well, I was little,
Mm-hmm.
and after I got in the first game, I played regular. Well, for the first game, the coach says, "Warm up, mouthy."
Were you mouthy?
Well, that's the way I got in. And after I got in, played the first game, played every game.
So they discovered that you were pretty good at this.
Yeah, pretty small, but I was quarterback, and I played both directions.
Really? What did you play on defense then?
Well, just quarterback position,
Okay.
back. Yep.
All right. And did you graduate from school?
No. When I turned 18, I applied for immediate induction. And away I went. Yeah, I went to Fort Hood. That's where I took my basic.
Yeah. What was that like for you?
Oh, wasn't much work.
Were you pretty used to hard work by then?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I worked in the cemetery while I was still going to school. And, yep. They teaching me to get ready to go overseas.
Uh-huh.
And that's what I took care of, my basic.
Okay.
Because, like I say, I applied for immediate induction, and I did that up at Kalamazoo. And then when I turned 18, I went out there, and they put me on a passenger train
Uh-huh.
to Fort Hood. And that's where I took my basic.
All right. Then what'd you do after basic training?
Well, after I got training, they shipped me to Boston and to get on a Liberty ship.
And where did you go to?
He was a major on the ship there, but I never seen him again. But he come over and says, "You get down in the mess hall there and see a big pan of mustard with dill pickle sliced in them." He says, "You eat them, you won't get sick." And boy, I look at them and it pretty made you sick. But I ate them, and I did not get sick. and the guys that didn't need them heaved all over the boat.
Yeah. So that's a good tip.
Yeah, I did. I got puked on, but I never puked.
Yeah. And how long was the trip overseas? How long?
17 days.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
And then where did you get off the ship at? What do you remember? What town you were at?
Yeah, I got off in England. Then got on another boat and went across the pond there, and I can't tell you what that was.
Mm-hmm.
But after we got across the pond, got on a train, and it wasn't a passenger train, it was a freight train. And we went across the pond over there and went a ways, and there was a river. And the train stopped there, and a bunch of us jumped off the train, dived in the river, done some swimming. And some of the guys didn't make it back on the train when we got ready to take off.
Oh no.
And all they had on there is their undershorts. Their clothes was in the train.
Did you ever see them again?
Huh?
Did you ever see them again? Did they ever show back up?
Well, I seen some of them. Yep.
And so where did the train take you?
Where did the train?
Yeah.
You've seen the Statue of Liberty, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
That's where the train took us, right there in Perth. And we got off there.
So you got off the train, you say in Paris?
Yep, and got in the truck
Okay.
and drove, I don't know where. But in Germany it was.
All right. So you started out in Germany then?
Yeah.
Okay. And what was that like? What did you do there?
Tried to hide from the girls, but it didn't work.
Tried to hide from the girls in Germany.
Yeah.
Tell me about this. I got to hear about this.
Well, there's a little schoolhouse over here out in the woods, and I checked it out and got machine guns in there, German ones. So I took one out in the middle of the field right there so I could see things coming around. And I looked way over, and there was some gal there with a skirt that would drag on the ground. And she come towards me. And I figured that with that skirt short or long as it was, she could hide a couple of guys in there. But she got all the way to me.
Didn't even introduce herself.
No. Took off. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
She kept coming and coming, and what the devil?
Girls, what else did you do in Germany?
Well, drank a lot of booze.
Yeah.
Because we had two guys on a 6-by, and they'd take off and come back with a load beer, schnapps, cognac, and what have you. Then bring her out in the woods where we was, dump her off, away they'd go. In a few days, they'd be back.
Uh-huh.
But they did that regular.
Now, were you there towards the end of the war then?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So what was your overall mission there? What were you supposed to be doing in Germany?
I don't know. Really had the mission.
Okay.
That was goofy.
Yeah. So how long were you in Germany?
I couldn't really tell you
Okay.
because don't know how long.
Anything else interesting happened while you were there?
Oh yeah, my brother, he's a master sergeant, and he came looking for me, and he didn't find me, but some guys told me about him. Said there was a master sergeant coming here looking for me, and that was my brother Harvey.
Let's take a quick break.
Hey, listeners, we need your help to keep the Veterans Archives podcast going. We're a nonprofit dedicated to preserving the stories of our nation's heroes, and we provide this service completely free to veterans. Your support helps us record, share, and archive these incredible stories so future generations never forget the sacrifices made for our freedom. Every donation, big or small, makes a difference. Visit veteransarchives.org to contribute today. Help us honor their service by ensuring their voices are heard. And thank you for your support, and thank you to all the veterans who have served our country. And what rank were you?
In the Army.
Yeah, what rank? Were you like a sergeant or a...
Oh, over there. I can't remember whether I got a rank.
Okay. Did Harvey ever find you?
No. Not till I got back home.
Oh, okay. All right. So where did you go after you were in Germany? Where did you go from there?
Belgium, that for a while.
Any excitement in Belgium? Anything happened there while you were in Belgium?
Yep. They had a little taxi that drove around there, probably held maybe half a dozen people. And right after the war, me and a couple guys got on there, and there's a couple women on there too. And they stopped in a place. When they got off, and one of these gals said, "If you come around tomorrow, I will take you up to my room and fix you a steak." So I got back there, and here she comes. Took me upstairs. She had a beautiful apartment, and she had a big table there with stuff lined up on it, and she set me down there, said, "I'll bring you your steak." A little while, she brought me a big steak, and I got my steak ate.
Art, did you wear some sort of special cologne?
I don't know.
What was your secret?
I don't know, but yeah.
Did you ever see her again after that?
No, didn't.
Yeah.
But she was a young lady and good looking. But I couldn't believe that.
Wow. Anything else happen while you were there in Belgium?
I told you about these guys coming with beer, wine,
Yeah.
cognac, and all that stuff. They did that right regular
Uh-huh.
when I was there. We lived in a woods,
Okay.
and I built a place up my tree.
So you built a treehouse, did you?
Yep.
Tell me about that.
Well, I pretty fell out of it.
Oh, no. Is that because of all the drinking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we got unloaded, and I think first time he came, I think I run into every tree in the woods.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it hurt hitting them trees.
I'll bet it did. So where did you go from Belgium then?
Oh, we went back to France for a while,
Uh-huh.
and then back to England. And come home on the Queen Elizabeth.
Okay. Now, before we get to the Queen Elizabeth, is there anything you want to tell me about the rest of your time there in Europe? Anything else happen while you're there that you want to share?
We drive by them, and they was getting released from a prisoner of war. Yeah, we're in a tent like down there,
Mm-hmm.
and they're walking home, and there's a creek running right alongside the road, and these guys that were driving the truck, they'd get up there by them, hit the switch, backfire, Jesus, they'd boom, they'd dive right over in the creek.
But that wasn't you that did that, right?
No.
That was somebody else.
That was somebody else.
Okay.
But I would, if I'd have been in that position, because that's what they did, hit the switch there.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll do it.
And did it.
For sure. I got to hear about the Queen Elizabeth. So you got on the Queen Elizabeth and you head back.
We had a stateroom
Uh-huh.
for 12 hours. Then you had nothing. Any place on deck, because we had a double load.
Yeah.
And that's what you did. Laid down and then you're up. Laid down, you're up. And it only took 5 days going back home. 17 days going over.
Uh-huh. Tell me about Jimmy Stewart on the boat.
Well, he was on there, but he had a stateroom all the time.
Well, he's Jimmy Stewart, right?
Oh, yeah. He didn't have to get off
Uh-huh.
every 8 hours.
Did you get to meet him or talk to him at all?
No.
Okay.
Didn't see him or,
Yeah.
no. Because that's a big ship.
Yes, it is. So you, when you got back to the States, where did the ship dock?
It took me some thinking. And I didn't equip for it. Can't picture me getting off the ship. I can picture me getting on the ship going across.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
So when did you end up back in Michigan then? Did you do something before you came back here?
yeah, Fort Benning.
All right. And what did you do at Fort Benning?
I brought there to teach swimming.
Okay.
And I did. Taught swimming there at Fort Benning. Because the war was over.
What was that like teaching swimming? Did you have a lot of students?
Well, I figured it'd be just a few. But then I looked down the road and Jesus, it looked like a whole company that couldn't swim. I couldn't believe that. Because from Vicksburg there, I could swim where I could barely walk.
Right. So after you got done at Benning, what did you do after that?
I think I got discharged in Benning.
Okay.
Come back to Vicksburg.
Did you go back to your family's home in Vicksburg?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember what it was like coming home?
coming home on the Queen Elizabeth, just no bouncing, just going over there, and throwing you all over. All of them was sick, and I didn't see any sick ones on the Liberty.
Yeah. You didn't have to eat any pickles then to settle your stomach there on the Queen Elizabeth?
No, it didn't. Queen Elizabeth didn't bounce around.
Yeah.
Just like a rowboat. But boy, going over. Everybody that didn't eat them pickles was heaving up on each other. Bunk beds and that going over.
Yeah. Yeah. Stacked up like cordwood, right?
Yeah, and they'd puke on top and puke on everybody down.
And that probably made those other people throw up too, right?
Dive overboard.
Right. Well, so tell me about when you got back to Vicksburg. Tell me about being back home after you got back from the war. Did you go to work? Did you go to school?
Yeah, I got me a job, but I can't think of what it was.
Okay.
I ain't equipped for thinking.
So you were in the Air National Guard in Battle Creek?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, what did you do there? What was your job in the National Guard?
We didn't hardly do nothing.
Did you do that for a while? Were you in the National Guard for a long time?
Oh, yeah, I re-upped it in that a time or so, but I can't guarantee nothing there.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, did you get a different job when you got out of the National Guard? Did you work someplace else?
Yeah, I got a different job. I work for a consumer.
Okay. All right. Now, were you married at this time?
Yeah. When I hired for a consumer, I was married. Because we moved to Battle Creek.
And what was your job when you first started at Consumers Energy?
Oh,
It's Consumers Power at the time, though, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
But I was working with Ellie Meyer when I started there. And power company, you had to have a high school diploma. And I didn't have one. And so I was working with Ellie Meyer and Bob Stuck. I don't know if you ever heard of him or not. He was an inspector of the contractor, and he liked the way I done things, so he got me hired there. When he come, he was always sitting in his car watching whatever was doing. Yeah, and he liked the way I done things, and so they recruited me.
So you worked in the electric lines department? Is that what you did?
High lines.
High lines, okay. All right.
Yep.
What kind of stuff did you do there?
Hot sticking and change insulators. And, well, that'd be hot sticking too. But yeah, you done all kinds of work on the high line. And we had just one crew there in Battle Creek, one in Lansing.
They have a lot more now, don't they?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. How did you work? How long did you work high line?
I worked there quite a while. I got some pictures here, but I don't know what book.
Well, we'll have to take a look at those when we get done because I'd like to see those.
And that's my youngest son. And he is going to go to Africa.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, so let's talk about your family while we're looking at pictures of Colorado. How many children do you have?
13, isn't it? 12.
12.
See, I can't remember.
12. Is that all with the same wife?
No. My youngest daughter here, them are her boys.
So you have 5 boys? 4 boys?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boys. And they was wanting a girl. But it never happened, so they quit.
You know, I have a cousin that had 6 girls trying to have a boy.
Huh.
And that never happened. So
Yeah,
I gotcha. So how many grandchildren do you have?
I can't tell you that.
A whole bunch, huh?
Yeah.
Well, can we go back to talking a little bit about Consumers Energy and
Sure.
and what you did there? So when you got done working Highline, what did you do after that? What kind of work did you do?
After that, I got shipped up to Hastings, supervisor.
Okay. And were you in Hastings for a while?
Yeah. Quite a while.
So you supervised the High Line in Hastings, or was that the line workers? What'd you do? Who'd you?
Yeah, line.
Okay.
But yeah, I supervised everything. But we had gas rats there too, and I didn't supervise them.
The gas rats had their own supervisor, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And where'd you go from Hastings? You remember where you went after that?
Oh, maybe retired.
Retired. You retired out of Hastings. That's right.
Yeah.
And so when you retired, did you do anything else? Did you work after that?
I don't believe it. Can't remember.
Okay. All right. Anything that you want to share about the time you worked at Consumers? Anything happened there? Any stories there you want to talk about?
Yeah, I'd like to show you the crew there, if I can find it. That's me and a baseball team or a softball team.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was the only Highline people we had in Battle Creek.
That's a great picture.
And around an area. There was some in Lansing, but Ott Sailor was the boss, and he didn't know nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And our old boss there, he didn't know hardly anything either.
I hear that you had a pretty good reputation as being a great line worker, though.
Yeah. Well, when I worked with the contractor, that's how I got hired. The contracts and Bob Stuck, he liked the way I done things, so he got me recruited because I didn't have a high school diploma. And back then you had to have one. I don't know about now.
It sounds like he was able to get around that for you, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I remember once when Consumers went on strike,
Uh-huh.
and one of the guys that worked there, Eddie Britton, he lived in Pennsylvania. So I called up the contractor that I'd worked for, L.A. Meyer, and says, they got any jobs around? And they told a bunch of them, and there was one in Pennsylvania. And this one guy on the crew, he was from Pennsylvania. So I told him, why don't you call up and see if we can get a job there. So I called up a contractor, and they gave us a job there. I went up there to work on it, and just as soon as I got there, they said, well, do you want to run the job? So I was the boss man up there. So then I had a snot-nosed kid come up there with another guy from where I was going to school, and I was up in Poconos, and big towers, and big bears.
A lot of hazards there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jesus, to go from one structure to the next, you might drive 5 miles. You had to get down and out of there. You couldn't go like that. That was kind of tough. But that was the only high line crew back in. Right there. And Bob Wirtz, I don't know if you ever heard of him.
No, I have not.
They made him a supervisor somewhere. And me, I made the supervisor. But that's been a long time ago.
Yeah. How many years did you work there total? Do you remember? A lot?
Boats?
Bunch of years?
No, I don't remember.
Yeah.
See how tall that guy is?
Uh-huh.
The guy next to him, 6 foot. And he holds his hand out like that.
That's a tall
And he's
guy.
a monster.
Yeah.
And that was a contracting crew
Uh-huh.
that I worked in. And I come to work that morning, and there was old Slim Brown. I went, what the hell? Because he got over a tavern that was at, and I'd never seen him before. And he come up there in the tavern and says he could whip any 2 guys from Vicksburg.
Really?
Yeah. Just before he got a broken jaw. I got him.
He didn't whip anybody, did he?
No, he didn't. But Jesus, I come to work. This is what I was working with a contractor for the power company.
Mm-hmm.
But Jesus, I come to work that morning, he's standing there like that, and I thought, holy mackerel, I got to mess with him. But he didn't want to mess with me.
Yeah.
Because I had broke his jaw. Yeah.
Well, you set the tone is what you did. Right?
I don't know.
Well, Art, before we look too much further into the pictures, can I ask you one more question?
What?
So we're recording right now, and I'm just wondering if you'd like to leave a message for people who listen to this years from now. Is there a message you'd like to give to people?
Well, might want to tell them I works there. The snot-nosed kid works there, and he's got a snot-nosed kid that works there. Only they electrical engineers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's pretty worth nothing. Oh, I didn't see you there. But that's what.
That's a wrap for this episode of the Veterans Archives podcast. We truly appreciate you taking the time to listen and honor the incredible stories of our nation's heroes. Don't forget, you can catch us every Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern on Wreaths Across America Radio, or stream past episodes anytime on Buzzsprout, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and as I've said before, any place you can find a podcast, you can find the Veterans Archives podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and share our content on YouTube and Facebook and TikTok and Instagram and across all social media. Every share helps us reach more people and preserve more stories. The Veterans Archives Podcast is a nonprofit initiative, and our mission is simple: to give veterans a voice and ensure their stories are never forgotten. This service is completely free for veterans because their sacrifices deserve to be recognized and remembered. You want to help? Follow us, spread the word, and if you know a veteran with a story to tell, send them our way. Visit us at veteransarchives.org to learn more about how you can get involved. Thanks again for tuning in, and most importantly, thank you to all the veterans and their families for their service and sacrifice. Until next time, take care, and we will see you on the next episode of the Veterans Archives Podcast.